Welcome to Pondering Passages. Kurt and I are going to be taking a look at Psalm 28. It's a beautiful psalm, only 9 verses, but so much in there about our trust in God. And I think hands down, and I say that for a reason, hands down, this is a fantastic psalm. So you might want to stick around and be a part of this conversation.
Welcome back to Pondering Passages. Dave has already done a beautiful job introducing what we're talking about. So I think it's kind of encapsulated the entire thing. So we don't have to go too far into that. But Dave, good to see you again. Glad
Good to see you, Curtis, as
we have
always.
this. So glad we have this time together. So let's jump right into Psalm 28. 9 verses. Not anything too
And I know you like the
heavy.
short ones. You like the short ones. So,
Well, yeah, I do. I do
yeah.
like the short ones. So
Anything over 15, you're like, oh, well, this one's long. So,
this guy just can't bring it down into what really matters. But verses 1 and 2, I pray to you, O Lord, my rock, do not turn a deaf ear on me. For if you are silent, I might as well give up and die. Listen to my prayer for mercy as I cry out to you for help, as I lift my hands toward your holy sanctuary. I think this is a cry for help, right?
it certainly feels that way. And what captures me is just how desperate he is. You know, if you are silent, I might as well give up and die. I mean, that is, if you're silent, God, I have no hope. It's like Star Wars. You're my only hope, Obi-Wan.
No, there is another.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
if you're going to do Star Wars, you got to take the whole thing. But I pray to you. I like this, though, because it starts out with an affirmation of what he truly believes God is.
Yeah.
Solid as a rock.
Yep.
I'm praying to you, O Lord, my rock. The whole psalm is about what God is juxtaposed to my need for you. Right. And I think that's a good way to say it. So we have. Oh, did you want to talk more about 1 and 2?
Yeah, go back for a moment. There's something that isn't captured in the NLT because of how they translated one of the verses. But there are 3 references to hands. The first one is there at the end. I lift my hands toward your
Right,
holy
that's easy.
sanctuary. Yeah. And then we go to the next section.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I think it's in verse 4 where it says, pay them back for the work of their hands. I believe
Oh, yeah.
that is what, and I don't know what translations have that, but when the Hebrew experts do their own translation, that was one of the things they pointed out because it is a repeating word. And it's just unfortunate sometimes that translations don't take something like that into account.
Well, let me read 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Do not drag me away from the wicked, with those who do evil.
Wait, with the wicked.
Let me read it again. Yeah. Do not drag me away with the wicked, with those who do evil, those who speak friendly words to their neighbors while planning evil in their hearts. Give them the punishment they so richly deserve. Measure it out in proportion to their wickedness. Pay them back for all their evil deeds, or the evil done with their hands. Give them a taste of what they have done to others. They care nothing for what the Lord has done, or what his hands have made. There's another reference to hands.
Yeah.
So he will tear them down, and they will never be rebuilt.
Yeah. The one of the things that jumped out at me is verse 3, those who speak friendly words to their neighbors while planning evil in their hearts. Oh man, that just, what do you call that?
Two-faced?
Okay, yeah, two-faced. Yeah.
Right? That's
and how much
challenging.
It is. I mean, it's also, sometimes we wonder. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm paranoid. You just wonder, someone being overly nice to you, it's like, am I missing something here?"
Well, this reminds me, this last week we got a notice in the mail that they'd had this big meeting in the neighborhood about a problem neighbor, and I didn't get invited to it. I don't know what that's about.
You're making that up, I'm sure. You're
But
using that to illustrate a point.
though, when I initially read verse 3, I think, well, that's not me. I'm not.
Mm,
I'm not. I'm not planning evil in my heart, but I I I guess I have to rethink the way that's written to not
mm.
say planning evil, but thinking evil or
Ooh,
thinking
wow.
poorly
Yeah.
or having I mean, if you hear a neighbor and you or I'm trying to think real carefully how to say this, but have you ever been near someone, not even in your neighborhood, but just maybe where you worked or you see them in the mall and you kind of avoid them? You just don't want to spend time with them, right? You don't want to say hi because you know how that's going to go. You're going
Yeah.
to spend the rest of your day talking to this person, or it's somebody you just don't like being around. But then when you do see them, hi, how are you? It's so good to see you,
See,
right? I mean,
I
that's
would say that's not what the psalmist is getting at.
you don't think so? Is that too subtle or too
Well,
off the mark?
I think what you're missing is planning evil in their hearts. I think what he's talking about, those who really were planning evil, uh,
Okay,
and
shoo,
they
I feel
come up
better.
and almost like the Trojan horse kind of thing, if you're
All
familiar with
right,
that,
yeah.
that they're very friend. It's I forget there was uh, oh, his name's on the tip of my tongue. He in the Old Testament he was left-handed.
Ehud,
And
Ehud,
what?
Ehud.
Yes,
He
yes,
was a
yeah.
left-handed man.
Left-handed, and I believe it was him that went to shake the hand with the right hand and took the left hand and stabbed someone.
Mhm. He had an 18-inch knife.
Yeah, and then the fat well, we don't have to get
It's in
into
the
that.
Judges if you wanna
Yeah,
read it.
and it's very, very graphic, but anyway, that's kinda what I think, and what you're talking
Okay,
about is you're just
alright.
trying to be friendly with someone and you don't really connect with them, but you're not planning you don't want something evil to befall them, and
Okay,
and
alright, thank
and
you.
yeah, and I think that's what the psalmist was dealing with, and so his prayer is that, uh, you know, give them what they deserve, measure it out in proportion to their wickedness.
Okay.
So I like he's saying in proportion to their wickedness, you know,
Yeah, he's not asking for any more than what they've done,
or what they
he's
were
not
planning. Yeah,
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 not anything more than not asking total destruction,
yeah,
just eye for an eye kind of a thing.
right,
They care
yeah,
nothing for what the Lord has done or what his hands have made. That's an interesting image in that he's raising the psalmist is raising his hands towards the holy city, the holy
right.
temple, someplace where resides, where God's hands have formed. Um, and he's kind of saying that they don't even care about any of that.
No, he lifts his hands up to God. They use their hands for these evil deeds, this wickedness.
Hmm.
And I do
Hmm.
like right after that, he says, "Give them a taste of what they have done to others. Let them know what
Hmm.
it's like. Let them know what it's like." Uh, and like you said, the Lord has done great things, and they don't care about that.
Yeah. I like this. I like give them a taste of what they've done to others because you have probably taught me more than anybody about instant karma and how important that is.
Not oh my.
Okay, maybe that's not what he's talking about. All right, let's go. Let's move on. So in
Well, we
verses,
missed the very last part of that.
oh, I thought we hit on that. I'm sorry.
So he will tear them down. So, his hands have been used to build things,
Mhm.
but God will tear them down and they will never be rebuilt. And I don't know, I could see some hands here too. He tears them down because you usually tear things with your hands. they will never be rebuilt, and we usually rebuild stuff with our hands, even though that's not in the, it doesn't say hands in the passage. So I just wanted to highlight that a little bit.
I also think that that's an interesting verse or interesting line in verse 5, uh, because it seems like a structural comment, but you don't think of tearing down someone to be rebuilt. I mean, I guess you
Mm,
do, don't you? You
well,
tear people down, bring them down to size. I mean, all of
oh,
those kinds of phrases,
yeah,
right? Tear them down versus lifting them up or building them
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Okay, that'll work. That works for me. Verses 6 through 9, praise the Lord, for he has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord is my strength and shield. I trust him with all my heart. He helps me, and my heart is filled with joy. I burst out in songs of thanksgiving. The Lord gives his people strength. He is a safe fortress for his anointed king. Save your people. I love that line. Bless Israel, your special possession. Lead them like a shepherd and carry them in your arms forever. That's really pretty.
it is.
Again, the hands and arms there, and that image. I have this image of God carrying His sheep. Right,
Yeah.
lead them like a shepherd and carry that sheep. Um, you can't carry sheep very long; they get pretty big. They're big animals, but when they're little and they need that protection, um,
Yeah.
they're cuddly like little puppies. Um,
Yeah.
all right, praise the Lord. Go ahead, tell me all about this verse. I like it.
Well, it feels like the question is, did he write this much later? Or is he writing it because he has such confidence in the Lord? He is writing it as if the promise has already taken place.
That's how I read it every day this week. I
Okay.
didn't feel like they were. I know people could say they're two separates that have been put
Yeah.
together or written at different times, but I really felt like it was, because otherwise, I mean, otherwise you're ending on this note of he's going to tear them down.
Right.
They'll never be rebuilt. Yeah, but he starts by lifting up his desire to God, and he ends with reminding the reader and maybe himself of how confident he is in that this God is going to answer. He's
Yeah.
not even just going to answer. I mean, all around him, this stuff is going on, and he's asking for help. God is both a strength and shield, and I trust him with all my heart. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And his rock. And his
That's
rock
yeah,
from the beginning.
starts right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and in the end, uh, the Lord gives his people strength. And again, he's speaking from experience. He's a safe fortress for his anointed king. Then save your people. It's like, couldn't figure out where to put that in, but he wanted that in there, so it's
Well, no, I think it fits in that he's talking about the others who are planning evil, tear them down.
yeah.
But
Oh,
for your people, God,
save your
sa-
people.
protect them,
Yeah.
surround them as a shield, right? Be their strength. So I really feel like it fits together. Anita, and I don't remember where she got this, but she was telling me, Anita, for those of you who are listening, is my wife, my partner, my best friend, and she is very insightful when it comes to the scriptures. And she had said, uh, that she had read someplace about the fact that one of the reasons why we are the body of Christ, why we worship God in unity, is because there's going to be a time when I'm not able to trust. I'm just really struggling. But her faith can help see me through those times. And I feel like this is a passage that's similar to that, in that it's you know I'm struggling, but God save your people. We
Mhm.
all need to be reminded from time to time, and I need I'm going to watch as you lead your people like a shepherd and carry them in your arms, and that's going to renew my strength as well. That's going to renew my faith. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else about this? I mean, we've kind of just been blasting through some of these in the last few weeks, and I don't know if there's anything else to say about this one. I mean, it's just kind of right to the point.
Yeah, and I guess one of the questions would be, what's the formative question, or rather, what's this question that this psalm is asking? Uh, and I guess when I look at it, it's asking me to take a look. Is God my rock? If He does not answer, is it just, well, I'll just figure it out on my own, or I might as well give up? I forget the exact phrase that the psalmist used. I think he says, "Give up and die," but I
Yeah.
don't want to go that far. But I mean, yeah, if God doesn't answer, what other hope do we have? I guess that's the question. What other hope do we have? And have we allowed that hope to take the place of the hope?
Hmm. I also think, though, that for me, formatively, uh, understanding that as a whole passage, that first section of "I might as well just curl up and die" uh, is an option to take, but the other is to remember that He's your shield and your strength.
Right,
So you may not hear the answer today, but it doesn't mean it's not coming.
right.
Or and just that memory of that is powerful as I think
And
about my own
yeah,
situations over and over and over again, where it's like, I need an answer, God. I need an answer, God.
yeah,
Well, maybe the Israelites had to wait 400 years before they got an answer.
yeah. Could I hold on until the promise comes
Yeah.
to my rock, my shield?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think that's a powerful call for us as we think about our faith journey and what it is that we're trying to do in our relationship with God. Because a lot of times we want the answer now, and we want it to be the way we want it,
yep,
and um,
yep.
we just are. I was thinking about this, Dave, the other day. We were doing a Bible study in our other group, um, in our group that we've been a part of now for almost 6 years, if you can believe that. It's a great group of people. But that was one of the questions. We're studying Habakkuk, and that's kind of his thing. Is like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah,
Well, then God gives him an answer, and he's like, "Wait a minute, that's not the answer I wanted." But that is the question of how patient can we actually be? And I wonder if our patience has dwindled more and more in an age of immediate access to information and immediate news and immediate. Have we lost patience?
I think patience is directly related to how much power we believe we have, or how many resources we believe we have. So if we think we can do it ourselves, then it's like, why do I need to wait for God? I can just go ahead and do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's the takeaway right there, folks. That's it.
Well, speaking of takeaway, where can they take us away?
Why don't why don't they go to ponderingpassages.com,
Why
where
not?
you can look at the videos, you can look at the podcast, you can look at our blogs, or if you want, you can go to oops, sorry,
Honoringpastors.com.
Facebook
Oh,
or
Facebook,
Instagram or YouTube.
YouTube.
Also on YouTube, I was thinking about this. We don't necessarily want to talk shop, but in on YouTube, you can look at our Ephesians pondering.
Oh yeah,
That's available for you. It's not in our. Uh, I don't think it's on our website, ponderingpassages.com.
I think it might be.
It might be. You might have to look for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Um,
not. Maybe not.
But if you go to YouTube, you can see it there in our list, as well as just inspirational thoughts and reflections in Instagram and YouTube. Also, a good place to leave a message, some thoughts about what you're reading there. So Dave, what do you think? We'll be back in about a week, and we'll do Psalm 29. We'll
Sounds
talk
like a
about it.
plan to me.
I like it. All right, we'll see everybody then. Bye.